Alrighty, welcome back to the Malekith campaign, where we are in the midst of fighting wars on two different fronts. One over here on our western front, which is basically being handled just by Malekith's army alone, against Grombrindal over here, who we kind of just have sort of a low-key stalemate going with. We've knocked him back to just these two settlements. He keeps rebuilding his armies and throwing them up here, and that's fine. We just keep beating them up over and over again. Fine with me. I'm really not too focused on trying to take this territory because the climate is not great for us, and also because just thematically in this campaign I wanted to focus more on getting our Black Arcs going and launching a naval invasion of Ulthuan. So speaking of Black Arcs, over here on our eastern front, or really maybe I should say our southeastern front, we have been fighting a war against Alithanar, and that one's going just fine. We did destroy an army. We have sacked this circle of destruction here. However, Alithanar himself is over here somewhere. I don't even really remember exactly where, so I have a feeling he is lying in ambush for us, which is fine because we did take some damage in the process of fighting these battles over here, and we need a few turns to replenish anyway, so we'll go ahead and kind of play it by ear and see how circumstances evolve over here. But before we get into all that, as I always say, I want to be very respectful of your time, and that means letting you know what is different about my campaigns for Warhammer 3 compared to some of the other excellent YouTubers who do Warhammer 3 as well. And that is mainly that I find the game a lot more enjoyable when I am taking my time and trying to speed through it. We're using some mods that make the overall difficulty much harder, as well as just basically slowing down the pacing of the campaign. You should be able to see a summary of all of the rule set that we are using for this campaign on your screen right now, and that way you can decide for yourself whether or not that is something that interests you. I, of course, do hope that you will stick around and see what a difference the mods that we're using, which are really relatively simple mods, can have on the overall feel of a Warhammer 3 campaign. But of course that is going to appeal to some people, but not to everybody. Anyway, you get the idea. Enough said, let's go ahead and get back into the campaign. So like I mentioned here, we're going to go ahead and sort of replenish. I think I had done some recruiting as well. We're kind of focused on our Black Arc Corsair units here in this army, plus just a couple of Dread Spears, because I just like to have a little bit of anti-large in every army. But for the most part, I think we're looking at probably doing maybe one or two more Black Arc Corsairs melee, and then, of course, the hybrid units are always good as well. Meanwhile, this army right here, Maldthican, I think, yeah, we've got these shades. For the most part, we're going to continue to fill this one out, I think, with maybe just a few more Dark Shard units, maybe a couple more Bleak Swords. I'm kind of tempted at this point to be pulling Admiral Rotha out and maybe coming over this way to do some raiding of his coastal cities, but because of the mods that we're using, we are facing really tough garrisons at all of the settlements. So Black Lake Tower is going to be kind of a tough nut to crack, at least until we get this army completely filled out. So maybe what we'll do is we'll stay one more turn where we're at, get some additional replenishment. Maybe starting next turn, we'll go ahead and move him out and start looking for places to sail him around and do some sacking like we were, as if we were Vikings, maybe. Now you, what I may do with you, you don't really need to channel. I do want to be a little bit careful that Alithanar doesn't come walking up here and ambushing you. So what we may do is actually just kind of keep you a little bit hidden, maybe close enough to the settlement here that anything but an ambush would bring out our garrison here, which is at this point quite strong. I think we've got the money. We'll go ahead and do a little bit of recruiting with you. We can only do 3. I kind of like having even numbers. It's just sort of I don't want to say I'm obsessed about it, but I am a little bit obsessive compulsive. So I think what I'll do is maybe 2 more of these That gets us to 18. One more of these will get us 9. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's not an even number, but that's all. Yeah, that's going to happen when you can only recruit 3 at a time. And then up here, you're fine continuing to do your raiding. This has been a humongous source of slaves for us, which is great. I just realized I could do... Nah, I don't want more dread spears. I've got all the dread spears here that we want. Let's get over here. Now, Malekith. So, we did complete a mission over here by doing some raiding, but we can see this army bearing down on us, and as you can see, we're in desperate need of replenishing. So we're going to go ahead and get moving back in this direction. We are getting a tiny little bit of replenishment and a tiny little bit of Winds of Magic, but we need to get back into the Altar of Ultimate Darkness ASAP. And you know, once we get the replenishing here, this army is perfectly fine, and we can get our sorceress back into the army. I probably should have gotten her into this army before moving them.
They fear the
Is there anything? Do we have exhaustion? We do not have exhaustion. I could do more researching. 823. I'm not convinced it's a great use of our money. Block army, 97%. Yeah, I like the idea of that, actually.
To the weak, praise Cain.
Yeah, so that'll get her a little bit of experience, as well as slowing down the rate at which they can get up there. They will start raiding our territory, and we're going to have to fight them again, which means we want to buy some time for our army up there of Malekith to get some replenishment done. Let's go ahead and give you magical reserves. Okay. I think then we are probably... Let's see here. I could do here at Cauldra. Maybe we want to go ahead and do the money here. And I cannot do a diktat here just yet. I can do it here. Altar of Ultimate Darkness. I'm not worried about the public order because Malekith is right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the diktat for... Could do it for growth. That would take 300 slaves. We could do it for money. That would take 400. I'm going to do it for money. Money is our biggest concern right now. Ashrak. Where are you at, Ashrak? Right up here. You've got the garrison building going. We do need to get this. We just can't afford it. You've got the money building. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Let me just make sure we don't have a... Oh, actually, diktat-wise, there's nothing we could do, okay? Nothing to build here. Hard Cauldra. This is definitely something I do want to do in the near future. How this is 1875. I think I'm going to go ahead and work on the economic infrastructure first. So we'll spend the money right there. I still have 800. I could do this as well. Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay. And just to double check, we have no available diktats for us. Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and check diplomacy. I would kind of like to get Cult of Pleasure trading deal going here. Anything we can do? No, we cannot balance it. They'll probably be destroyed by the time we can get a trade deal going with them. Peace treaty with subtle torture. No, they're not going to offer us enough money to make it worth our while, so no need. Okay, I think we can go ahead. Let me just double check this. Circle of Iron. Okay, yeah, we'll do that here sometime soon, hopefully. We're only one technology away from getting that done. That'll be nice. We're 4 turns, however. And really, most battles currently won by a single hero is 3. That surprises me. And we're not too far. Actually, we should finish this over the end turn, so that'll be good. We'll get a Banner of Murder, a little bit of treasury, a little bit of slaves. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Got the Godslayer. Very important to take a sip of coffee. As usual, I'm dragging here this evening. There's been a very strange war going on between Harganeth and Valkia and the Greenskins. A lot of moving around, not really a lot of battles being fought. Same with Malice, he just doesn't seem to really want to get aggressive. Okay, Grombrindal here. Thanks to the army being blocked, he didn't move quite as far. However, it still looks like he might be able to reach us to do some raiding starting next turn, maybe. Valkia, not really doing much. Crimson Skull. Crimson Skull looks like they might actually make some progress here against Malice. It's a little bit hard to tell. You see these full stacks, but you never really can tell just how strong they are. Being a minor faction, they're probably not real strong, but then being Khorne, you kind of think maybe they are. And the Greenskins, the Cage Breakers, laying siege, because why not? Harganeth, I have to think that Harganeth can push back that one little tiny army. Okay, mission successful as we anticipated. Let the games begin. Happy populace at the Chill Road. Yeah, okay, we'll definitely take that. Alright, units recruited, yes, and buildings constructed. Very good, okay. Still getting a little bit more than 2,000 per turn, so that's nice. Let's go ahead and get you... Yeah. Just move you back into here. You don't need to do any recruiting. We want you... %. Right now, as it stands... Right... I don't think they're going to be able to reach to...
Setting forth
to raid next turn, which is good. What we will do, though...
Darkness is spreading.
We're going to go ahead and block them again, 98%.
All life must end.
Just taking advantage of the
world will burn.
sacrifice to Hecate that we've got going. The reason I moved her to the northern side before then doing the hero action is because I want to get her as close as possible to up here, because I do want to get her back into that army as soon as possible. Okay. Did you get a level? You did not. Okay, you're at 19. You've got one master. I don't think I'm going to add any more masters to you. However, I would kind of like to get a sorceress into that army. But obviously, before I can do that, I need to get this building built right here. And how are we doing here on our... Okay, we're at 1 out of 0, so we're actually going to have to build that building twice in 2 different provinces. Okay, so Nagaran, we'll get it to here eventually, as well as maybe here in Haggrafe, maybe here in Grand. But it's going to take quite a few turns before we get there, so I'm not going to worry about the sorceress in this army just yet. Instead, I think I probably will go ahead and recruit in one more. Oh, I also... Yeah, I wanted to keep an eye on...
Ridiculous.
Oops. Not what I wanted to do. I wanted to look at the messages here. So we did not get a notification about a Lithanar coming out of ambush stance, so I guess maybe he has gone down to fight against maybe Solastra, maybe the Beastmen, maybe even over towards Karankar. Since we're already on this screen, I may as well go ahead and do this as well. Yeah, no real changes since last turn. Okay, so back here to you. We're not going to be, as long as that army is right there, we're not going to be able to sack this again.
Murderous lord.
How do I feel about attacking that? I think we could win that once we are replenished. So I'm going to stay there for the increased replenishment. You are doing just fine. Don't want to risk you by moving you down here just to do a little bit of raiding and end up getting you ambushed by a Lithanar, so not going to worry about that. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Back up here, you're fine as well. Okay. Ashrak, you are building. We are only a couple of turns away from having both of these built up. So we want to save a little bit of money for building costs. You are still quite a few turns away from being able to level up. Oh, but you can do a diktat. So again, I think we're just going to do more money here. We're getting 90 per turn, an extra 50 times 5 turns. That might be worth doing. Let me think about that for a second. Here, you are fine. I could do this. You are fine. Yeah. I think I'm going to do... I think I can actually afford to do 800 slaves, so I can do the open markets twice. The thing is, I do want to get... Well, he's already in the process of leveling up, and then I'll be able to get this defense building built here. So yeah, we're not desperate for growth here. Let's go ahead and do the open markets. Over here, nothing to do. You... Would an extra 250 growth be good for you, or do we want the money? We want the money. The growth would be good, but you can't have everything. Okay, we now have over 4,000 hard culture. I'm not going to prioritize this, but I do want to get that built eventually. I likewise want to get this built. I might go ahead and do it. Let me just double check. Ashrak, how much is this? 1,000. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, we're doing alright money-wise, and then, again, I don't need to check the armies out. Okay, I don't need to do diplomacy. We've already looked at that. I think we're ready to go, and this is good. So her loyalty's at 9. I do need to double-check my loyalty on him. He's at 5. What we really need to do, actually, is get some more recruiting going. Maybe he should be heading up here. Because he can't... Yeah, I want to get more bleak swords and dark shards into his army, so we're actually going to run back up here. Do a little bit more recruiting into his army next turn. Now, I think we're ready to go ahead and end our turn again. Ooh, Epidemius was destroyed. I have a feeling that a Lithanar is attacking and probably defeating his other enemies, which I don't want to let that go on for too long because that means he will focus on us.
I have never been much of a diplomat.
Okay, what does she want? A non-aggression pact. For 200, huh? I just don't see the advantage. Nothing against you, Celestra. I hope that you do well, but I just don't see an advantage. Oh, that's interesting. So he's turned around and gone back to Elder Spire rather than continuing northward to raid our territory. That suits me fine. Valkia just kind of hanging around. Okay. Not really the most eventful intern ever. Okay. Oh, the cage breakers got destroyed. Like I said, I had a feeling that she'd be able to push them back. I just didn't realize they were that close to being destroyed. And we got a couple of ranks. So when she destroyed them, did she also... Yes, okay. So she has pushed her boundaries all the way up to now being adjacent to the guy whose name I always forget. Sigvald, yeah. And Sigvald is probably going to be declaring war. Oh no, they'll probably declare war on us fairly soon. But maybe she might be able to focus on Valkia now. That would be good. If she focuses on Valkia, that buys us... Well, it doesn't buy us anything, but it means I no longer have to have sort of any anxiety at all about up here. Okay, so like I said, you are replenishing. You can reach the army. I want you to get up into that army just so that you can replenish a little bit. I'm uncomfortable with you walking around with that much health, because the minute I do get you into a battle, I don't want you to be that close to death. This army, not the strongest army in the world, but Malekith himself makes it fairly strong. It's good enough to continue to keep the balance of power over here, just because these two settlements that Grombrindle has been reduced to are both minor settlements. That means he can't build any units that are greater than tier 3. He could get some regiments of renown, but in any case, I'm not too terribly worried about him. We're going to go ahead and give you... Yeah, we'll give you Nobleborn Ruler. That's nice and thematic. You can have Route Marcher. Okay. And we're at exactly 3,000 slaves.
Merciless.
Let's see here. Do we want to... I'm not super obsessed about getting this leveled up. You've already got the +1 capacity. The +2 hero rank would be nice, but we're already going to have that over here. So we'll just make sure to recruit our masters from right here. Meanwhile, back to this. It would be nice to... Well, we'll be able to actually build the bolt throwers from our main province as well. So I'm not going to worry about leveling this up just yet. This, however, I think I probably will. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Again, I've got the Diktat going. Maybe money. Hang on. Where are you at? You're at 8 turns away from being able to level up. I'm I'm going to continue to do money. Money is still the sort of the most valuable resource as far as I'm concerned. So you're okay. You're like, okay. So here's the question. What do we want to do here? I'll tell you what we want to do is we want to fight.
I approve of these dark
We want to fight a battle right here. Let's hope that we can get a battle out of this. Approach the carcass. You may have to defeat a foe in battle. This is with a with a gush of putrid water. The bloated corpse of an ancient sea leviathan surfaces close by. All right, yep, let's do it. This is what I wanted. Oh my goodness, a crushing defeat? Really? It's because of the rotting leviathan, but we can beat that. We can beat that, right? Surely we... Oh my goodness, that is an interesting looking map. I have no idea what this is going to look like. Okay, so that has good range, but not terribly high missile strength. 145, that is definitely, that's double the range of any of our hybrids. Yeah, we can, I have to think we can win this. I don't know, crushing defeat. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding something. They do have some pretty good unit ranks, which is going to definitely make this tougher. All right, well, let's see if we get this figured out. Do I already like my layout? No, I do not. We want to get you three. I want to get you three as my main front line here. Put you guys in between. Then we'll get you guys as sort of a...
We are ready.
Sort of a reserve. Okay, now you guys... Actually, I need to widen my line pretty considerably here. Excuse me. Sip of coffee went down the wrong pipe. Okay, let's go ahead and get, and of course you guys. You guys, we can maximize your... Oops, nope, I meant to put you over here. You guys over here. And we shall adjust as necessary. Are they coming towards us? They are not going to come towards us. Okay, so we're going to walk towards them. Nope, maybe they will. Okay, so what we need to do, what's your range? 125. Okay, so this is good against... They're all weak against a single combatant. That's less than ideal, so let's just go ahead and try to do this. Okay, that didn't do a whole heck of a lot, did it? Okay, as they get a little bit closer here, we'll charge forward just to be able to get our hybrid units in missile range. This is going to be...
Corsairs!
It's going to be quite interesting here.
Eager for battle!
Okay, are we... They're just about in their range. Let's go ahead and start running forward here.
Corsair handbows! Merciless warriors! Battle ready!
Okay, let's go ahead and start getting you guys into position. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, you guys, everybody. Okay, how are we doing over here? Where's the... Oh my goodness, he got right into us. Okay, you guys keep shooting him. You try to get out of there. You, I need you actually on him. That was kind of dumb of me to not make sure our spearmen got on him, because that's exactly what they're there for. Okay, how you guys doing over here?
We understand. Moving out. Make them bleed.
Okay, over here we're doing some damage.
Glorious destruction.
Okay, you're doing okay, but you are kind of a little bit too much into the melee there. Okay, let's go ahead and get... Yeah, okay, this is working out okay. We just need to kill it. I think we got 4 units focus firing it down, so that should work to our advantage. We got this, we got this. We've taken some damage, but we're still doing okay here. Let's go ahead and hit them a little bit more. Okay, you, what are you shooting at? Shoot at him. At this point, shoot at him. I think we're good now. We got them disintegrating. Let's go ahead and get everybody shooting at the enemy lord now. They are disintegrating. No, they're just crumbling.
Kill everything.
Okay, how are we doing over here? We got him.
Dealers in death.
He's critical binding.
No mercy.
He's disintegrating. Disintegrating, okay. Phew! I thought we could win it. It was a little bit challenging. We should get some pretty decent loot out of that, and we did not lose any units, but we're even more in dire need of replenishment than we already were. But that's fine. I think that's still a pretty good trade-off for us. Hopefully I won't be too disappointed by the rewards that we get here. 289 slaves, 2,400 gold, 2,700 experience, plus whatever it gives us for the treasure. 100 experience, 236 slaves, plus army replenishment, or 740. I'm actually going to do the slaves and the replenishment.
I require slaves.
Okay, leadership +5 when fighting at sea, that's good. Income from trade tariffs, faction-wide, that's very good. Potion of healing, that's good. And here we go, we got 6,000 more treasury. A corpse of such a size does not go unnoticed by the brigands of the sea, and sure enough, on your way to the monster's remains, you are accosted by a vampire admiral's fleet. After dispatching them in the ensuing sea battle, you looted their galleon before sailing on to the Leviathan's remains, where your crew were able to cut open its belly and extract further wealth and treasures. Very good. Very, very nice. Okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and spin our camera. Let's get you full speed back into the city. Get that little bit of extra replenishment.
Murderous lord.
I think we will give you... What would it... Yeah, we don't really defend as much as we attack, so I'm not going to prioritize that. I could give you maybe Deadeye. Maybe Blade Master. I'm going to give you Inspiring Presence. I will be splitting my points up between all three of those lines. Okay. And then, like I said, you can do some recruiting. I see no reason not to go ahead into Nagarin to do the recruiting, get the bonus replenishment, provide a little bit of a public order bonus while you're here. Why not? And we'll give you... Let's see here. I think we'll do a couple Bleak Swords, and then we'll do a couple of Dark Shards after that. Always want to recruit the... If you're planning on recruiting until you get a full stack, you always want to recruit the least expensive to maintain ones first. Okay. You're still replenishing. I could go ahead and bring you out. You have nothing to do from a settlement hero action standpoint, but at the very least we can do reconnaissance down here. And what could you do to him? Just assault units. It might be worth it for 370 to get just to have the chance to get some bonus experience. But we'll decide next turn. You're fine where you are at.
Don't think so.
We can't really see what all's in that army, but we know Grumbrindle here is not super strong. They're okay, considering we only have half of, well, not even half of our army over here to face them. But they're certainly not going to overwhelm us. So you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, and you're fine. Settlements. You're fine. You're still 2 turns away. Okay, so the Chill Road here. Let's go ahead and get growth. Like I said, I'm not going to prioritize that. Ashrak. I'm not going to prioritize this right now because I kind of feel like I want to see where the war between Valkia and Harganeth ends up going. And meanwhile, those 18 units are fairly strong. They can handle their own right now. You, okay. Yeah, okay, I actually think we're going to save up a little bit of our money. Certainly, what it means now is I'm going to actually focus on growth now for a little bit instead of on money. This is going to take you a few, you know, it's going to help reduce the amount of time it takes to level up. Okay, Garrison Lord not moved. Yes, we know. Okay, building upgrade. Yes, we know. Lord not moved. Yes, we know. Outpost available. I don't see any advantage to it. We're already at 90. Oh, no. Wait a minute. 87. Do we have any? We have no ally missions. Okay. All right. Not super important. Diplomacy-wise, yeah, let's go ahead and check that again. We're at 16. I like that. Okay. Exiles of Nehek. You are at war with Solastra. Nah, I don't really want to too closely ally ourselves with any of them. This is still out of our reach, I presume. Yes, it is. Karankar is still hanging on. That's a little surprising to me. I would have thought they would have gotten wiped out by now. Alright, let's go ahead and end our turn. This might be the last end turn that we can do this episode. Okay, Elithanar himself is on the way back. Not really a lot going on over there. Okay, he's coming back up. Sure, why not? He actually made it all the way into our territory. Means he'll start raiding next turn. Valkia. Oh, did they fight? They did fight a battle, and that was an ambush. Nice, nicely done. Subtle torture, still holding their own against Malice.
Words carefully.
Shikari here.
I certainly will.
Yeah, thank you, but no. Alrighty. Malekith is definitely not ready to fight that one-on-one just yet, but maybe in a couple turns we'll be able to. However, I have no need to keep him in march stance at this point. Let's go ahead and get you back into our army.
My time, my talents.
Speak.
You know what we could do? Not yet, but maybe next turn. If he moves closer, maybe we'll go into ambush stance. 50-50. If we go into ambush stance, maybe we can lure him in to try to attack Altar of Ultimate Darkness. And then the combination of our garrison plus Malekith's army can definitely wipe them out. So we'll give that some thought. Meanwhile, we did see a Lithanar over here somewhere. And now I've lost track of him. I think he's down here close to Circle of Destruction. We'll just keep replenishing for the moment. You have done your recruiting. Let's do a little bit more. Or, you know what we could do? I was going to say, we could get some more shades into this army just by moving right here.
I approve of these dark
Let's check this out.
deeds.
If we move right there, they are quite a bit more expensive. Now, I think I'd rather
Vicious dreadlord.
have more of these dark shards for the same amount of money as it would cost for the shades. So let's go ahead and do some dark shards. How's you're still at 5 loyalty. Okay, I think that's all of our armies. You can switch to Dread Expansion. Where are you at? You're at 2. We need to get to 4. This is not a priority, but this might be worth doing. It actually doesn't take us any of our population to do that either. What about this? Maybe this 10 slaves per turn all the way up to 40. And this is recruit rank. These are all worth having for sure. Yeah, let's do it. We got the money. Eventually, we're going to want Reaper Bolt Throwers, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to have the ability to recruit it directly from this Black Ark, so that works for me. For only 1,000, it's fine. Our money situation is doing okay. Meanwhile, up here, can we recruit any more heroes just yet? We cannot. Not yet. And how many turns away from another Black Ark? 8 turns away from another Black Ark. That's going to be really nice when we can get 2 Black Arks moving around together. Okay. You can go ahead and level up. I don't need to worry about that. 1 more turn away from you being able to build some more buildings. You... What do we think? Is it worth 1,000? Is it worth 1,500? Sure, why not? I don't need to do it everywhere though. I think that's good enough. You 2,500 now. Not going to prioritize that. I do want to save a little bit of a reserve of money. Okay, diktats wise, we can do another diktat here. Okay, Grand. You need growth. We're only 5 turns away now from being able to level this up. Okay. Alright, I think we're in okay shape here. One turn away from finishing research technologies. That will be very nice. And what am I looking at? Timing-wise, okay. This is probably almost certainly going to be our last end turn. For this episode, anyway. Okay, he's come into our territory. I'm fine with him coming into our territory, just thinking about it. I feel like our defenses are built up to the point where I'm not too worried about him. I know Elithanar is very strong, but I think all he's going to be able to do is just do some raiding. Same with this guy. Oh, he went into ambush stance. Let's see how that works out for him. Crimson Skull. Dude, Crimson Skull here, for being a minor faction, they're doing pretty well. There we go. Very nice. Got a little treasury. Got the black amulet. Have to take a look at that. But we're going to have to take a look at that in the next episode, I think. I don't want to get started on this turn because I'm not going to have enough time to finish it. So we'll go ahead and get the black amulet assigned. You are really getting pretty close to being full replenishment, which will be quite nice. I think I'll be able to remember that there is an ambushing dwarven army over there, hopefully. We are now back to losing quite a bit of winds and magic. That's not great. Anyway, down here, you get a level up. You're getting replenished still. No real urgency to pull you out of the settlement.
Loic's fury.
Those Shadow Walkers are incredibly good units, and if he's got a bunch more of them in there, that's definitely a concern. He's level 13. He's got 3 of his legendary pieces of gear already. Even so, we've got a garrison of 19. We've got a fairly decent early game army here in our Black Ark, and the same being built up here. Got his loyalty up to 6. I think we're doing okay. I think we are doing okay. But in any case, like I said, that's where we're going to have to leave it for this episode. I don't have time to fight another battle, that's for sure. Yeah, so one more turn of replenishing here. One more turn of recruiting here. One more turn of replenishing here. And then I think we will be ready to start launching offensives again pretty much everywhere. We could even... No, I was going to say, we could recruit a few more units into her army and actually launch an attack up here, but this is too good of a source of slaves for us. I don't see any reason to not just keep doing the raiding up there for now. Okay. Alright. In any case, feel free to leave any comments, any thoughts or questions, or anything that you might have. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.